A lot harder today. TSH, I'm looking at you, 721GS, and as well at Hustler Crew. Those squads are going to be having a lot of trouble, but let's take a look at the overall. That way we can get an idea of where all the teams are currently sitting at, and you have an idea as well in case you ended up missing it. No surprise, Vitality at the top, but the big storyline here, Max, has to be between 5th place and 12th place, because the difference between all those spots is just 14 points, and Godlike is currently in that 5th spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really tight. Really, I mean, if you get a 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 rondo, right, you're going to be able to jump up so many extra ranks. I'm actually talking about the point gap between those teams here, Seven, in the middle of the leaderboards. I'm looking especially at the point gap between 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝙾 in 4th position and 5th position of Godlike. That's a 21-point difference, meaning if those teams in the top 4 today get a decent day, we're talking like 30 points, something like that, there aren't going to be many spots remaining for the grand final. So right now, Godlike, you got to be careful. You got a massive target on your back. They did fix the hot drops, which is good, and we'll talk about that later on. But Godlike, everyone is going to be chasing you down today.
Oh, they absolutely are, and that is why we need to have top tier gameplay for them. We've seen it; they can do it. They can be super aggro. We saw them get take out horaA. They took out A7, like all in one map, right? 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝙾 as well. So they are able to fend against the top players here, but we just need to see that on a consistent level here, Seven. I'm not sure about these other ones. I mean, Wolves had an okay day. Alpha 7, we saw some glimmers of hope from them, but coming on through. Who? A7?
Alpha 7. Oh, you said Alpha 7, the reigning champions of PMGC that I'm expecting a lot of, that they're currently just playing so disappointing. I'm expecting that team to actually bounce back. I got a chance to talk to 𝘿𝙗𝙎. They were saying they were making a lot of mistakes. If you guys want to check that out, make sure you check it out at the 7WG. What's your Instagram, Natura?
NaturaCast.
Max?
MaxManCast.
A lot of awesome content for PUBG Mobile esports. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, for Alpha 7, a disappointing performance so far. They're not happy with it. They're looking to improve. But we got to talk about the Sony story of the day, which is just pure domination from Vitality. And we want to just paint a picture for this Sony story of the day, because Vitality, as I've been saying, they ended up getting more points than 4Thrives, and you can see the stats right there. What's crazy though is I want you to look at 4Thrives eliminations, Neptura, because 4Thrives were such a heavy fragging team that they still ended up getting more elims than Vitality. That's in 2 days though.
In 2 days.
In 2 days. So yeah, 4Thrives got 80 elims in 2 days. Vitality have 71 in 6 matches in 1 day, right? We're gonna add over to that being 108 points. So 4Thrives got 107 points in 2 days, and Vitality have 108 in 1 day, sorry, in 1 day. That gap is astronomical. I don't think we've really seen anything like that before. It's pretty insane. I know 4Thrives were wanting to get some wins in their group stage, and they didn't, whereas Vitality were really able to capitalize on that with 2 wins, and that makes me a little bit more hopeful for them going into those finals, right? Because we do see very similar plays from them, but when it comes down to that smash rule, when it comes down to that pressure being put on them, it seems like Vitality still can win.
Max, and if we break it down a little bit more, it was the way that Vitality was just playing yesterday. A completely different playing style than everybody currently in this Group B lobby. The way that they were doing their splits, the way that they were just taking control of an area was so impressive.
I think mainly they learned from PMGO Season 1 and PMI earlier this year. They're like, we were just too passive, not being involved in any of these fights, in the discussion in some of these games. But man, they switched it up to 11-12 almost going into this one. And it's good to see not just 𝘿𝙗𝙎, and Federales doing good, which we would really expect on the global stage, those guys to put up massive numbers. Axel came out swinging. They're chicken dinner on the wrangle up against Tora. Oh my goodness, Axel, the IGL, was looking like a fragger. He was a frag GL in that game. So I'm just super stoked about this team. And I just want to see this continue throughout the entirety of the event, because compared to 4Thrives, they can actually get wins. So if they do get in the smash zone, hey, who knows, Vitality might take home that trophy.
But with that kind of lead, we usually end up seeing teams do something a little bit different. I got a chance to talk to Federales yesterday. I also got a chance to talk to Axel, and they were saying that they might end up putting one of the substitute players just to get some experience in case you never know what's going to happen in finals. And I'm completely fine with that, because it's going to allow the sponge point to not be so heavy towards the top.
That's true. through, and you know, there's no better time to do it than now, right? Because NSR and Nongshim Renforce are in second place with 60 points. There's a 48 gap lead there, and so you're looking at, yeah, this is probably the best case scenario to put a sub in. Even if it doesn't go all that well, it gives them practice without the pressure coming on through as well. So really happy to see maybe a substitute coming on in there. But for me, I'm thinking that honestly, Vitality, they are going to just want to chill out and let maybe some of the other teams like Nongshim Renforce step up a little bit.
Look, I like saying Vitality. It's a very satisfying word to say, but I love saying Hyunbin in particular, because right now, I mean,
say it again.
Hyunbin. Sorry, I'm very excited. I have to scream that word every time I say it. But like, no, the entirety of Nongshim Renforce are looking so good, and in particular, we know their drop location is farm. They go for these quick rotates on the island finishes, and they get back-to-back wins on the military island finish. If it goes down south every time, it's just win, and win for the South Korean team. So I'm absolutely loving it. And in particular, it's not just 𝘿𝙄𝙎 and also Hyunbin doing well. We saw so many great plays from 𝘿𝙄𝙎 in particular in the show. We were talking about 𝘿𝙄𝙎 really having some massive step-up plays. So they're just looking like the whole package right now. It's just hard to stand out when Vitality had such a good opening day, but Nongshim Renforce were playing out of their minds on day one of Group B.
Yeah, I do want to say that I was disappointed with Nongshim in the first two games. We saw 0 or 2 points come out of them in two games.
It's hard to stand on the first game on Monday, right?
13 and 16th place.
Yeah, exactly. However, I do think that they're doing just enough. They got back-to-back wins. They got a second place to finish off the day. They're doing just enough to get to those finals to make sure that they qualify, and then we'll probably see a much different team in those finals this weekend.
Hopefully we'll end up seeing a different team, and hopefully that consistency that we saw towards the second half of the day for Nongshim Renforce will be there as well. One team that ended up surprising us a lot in the way that they were able to change again was an Indian team. For Group A, we saw it with OG. For Group B, we saw it with 𝘿𝙗𝙎. I know 𝘿𝙗𝙎's got a chance to talk with one of the players from 𝘿𝙗𝙎, so let's send it over to them.
Hi, 𝘿𝙗𝙎 here at PMWC for EWC 26. We're in day number 2 of Group B here, live from Paris, and I've got 𝘿𝙗𝙎 here from 𝘿𝙗𝙎 to talk about some of the results from yesterday, as well as how things have been going overall. So thank you for joining me here, 𝘿𝙗𝙎. To start things off, looking at the results from yesterday, bit of a rougher start, but then you guys gained some traction towards the end of the day. Can you talk to me about the day as a whole and what you thought about it?
Actually, in the beginning, we tried to do some experiments, like we tried to take drop clashes and a little bit more kind of stuff that we already planned, but that didn't work in our favor, so we tried to stick on our basics and try to like go to a random drop and gather loot and everything and play a decent game, and that worked in our favor, and we performed well after the first 3 matches.
So also, it's basically your first international tournament, right, as 𝘿𝙗𝙎, and being able to play here on the stage in Paris. How have you been enjoying the experience so far, and hey, what's Paris been like?
Paris kind of good, but we haven't gone out yet because we have a tournament that we have to practice that we didn't get the device earlier, so we need to set our hands in the device. And after that, if we qualify from here, we will try to explore Paris a little bit because we will be having some off days for sure. And my team is fully pumped because it doesn't matter for us like who is playing against us and like that. We all have in our mind that we are best and we will perform good.
A big fight back for 𝘿𝙗𝙎 today?
For sure.
Thank you very much, 𝘿𝙗𝙎, for joining me here.
Thank you.
Important stuff there. Thank you, 𝘿𝙗𝙎 and 𝘿𝙗𝙎 from 𝘿𝙗𝙎. But important stuff from that team considering they are currently in 5th place. An insane performance for a first day at an international event, and something that we heard right there is they're not looking to do those hot drops anymore, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. There was 2 issues for the Indian teams, orangutan being too passive and 𝘿𝙗𝙎 going for the hot drops. They changed it. They didn't go for it anymore. This is a great change for all of India.
All right, well, 𝘿𝙗𝙎, let's see how you're going to be doing. Once again, just to redeem myself, before we send it over to the stage, here we go. So close, but let's send it over to Barney and 𝘿𝙗𝙎.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue. Yesterday was the day of records. Today we will find out who will get to the final and who will get eliminated.
That's right. Today, the reality is that dreams will end. And so that's the nature of this competition. But I can guarantee you that none of these teams will go down without a fight.
Yeah, Bunny, we've seen it before. Like, it's always the same. You can just... standing can change in just a few good or bad games.
That's right. So whether you are at home or right here in the Porte de Versailles, in the heart of Paris, it is time to see who will rise above the rest and continue their journey in the PMWC. Starting with DAY Esports.
TT Project.
ETSH Esports.
World Esports.
Nongshim Red Force.
Tianba.
Dopeness.
horaA Crew.
Alpha 7.
horaA.
Godlike Esports.
721 GS Esports.
Team Vitality.
S2G Esports.
horaA Esports.
And finally, your defending PMWC champs, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙎. Voici, after just 6 games, the top 5 will make it into the finals. Some will survive, and the bottom 3 will see their key sent to the crusher.
The level of competition on this stage is staggering. This isn't luck, it's instinct, it's preparation, and it's synergy. It's time for Group B to come to a close. Let's find out who has what it takes. Sixteen teams have patiently waited on the sidelines for their chance to shine. Players who are hungry to make a statement on the 𝘿𝙎𝙎 city grid.
It is time to introduce our team. ETSH Esports, Alpha 7 Esports, Team Vitality.
And finally, your defending champions of PMWC, Yangon Galacticos!
Day 3 of the PMWC group stage at PMWC 2026 starts right now!
Back-to-back blows taken their way. Vitality trying to win out versus Nongshim Red Force. Yangon left with just Smile, but that might turn into a frown if they can get the angle onto him. But Smile dropped off the top side. He's doing good work here. A grin appearing on his mouth. Now looks for one more, steps up and gets it. A 1v4 essentially for Smile. Sleepy with a warning shot. Whoa. The buggy comes by. Close quarters engagement as Vitality look to hold on. No fear, down. More damage done. Last left alive here, an incredible player on 9 elims this game. It's a hard fight though, a 1 versus 2. Molotov goes long, he runs straight into it though, keeps backing off into the nade. It might be lights out for Axel soon. Oh, that's the nade to do it as horaA. They lay claim to the second chicken dinner. And we got the Alpha 7 fans in the house! But let's see if Alpha 7 can bring the thunder on the close quarters engagement. Goodbye Milu as Tianba get hit by the front of the vehicle. Quick flicks coming out from A7.
And that's exactly what's happening, because you got another can of Yunbin down south with that P90, and that is it. It's a back-to-back chicken dinner on the side of 𝘿𝙎𝙎 Red Force.
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the
And that's it!
burn yourself down to the ground, because Vitality live on top of the tables and beating a two-day performance from Group A. What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches.
Oh yes, oh yes. Another day of competition here as things get loud. 𝘿𝙎𝙎 in the building right next to me, and of course it's me, Jackie Powers, in the commentary booth. And we're going to be getting loose and waxing lyrical today, Dukes, because we get some more teams popping off with some big plays here in PUBG Mobile.
Oh, and man, talking about big plays, yesterday was absolutely insane. That's the only word I can say. The question is, who's getting second place today, right? Yeah, who's getting second place? Who's getting into the top 5? Because you want to punch that ticket straight to the finals. No messing around today.
No, man, it's going to be big. It's going to be exciting. You know, back when we got into Group A, right, we were thinking, wow, we're being spoiled for some of the runs we're seeing for these teams, the points we're accumulating over such a short space of time. Yeah, well, forget about that. Group B's been a whole different beast, buddy. What was going on yesterday, man?
Dude, I mean, it's like everything went just in a wild situation. We had a world record-breaking game number 1. Almost every single circle the entire day was just ridiculous, right? And then even with a 39-point game in day 1, that's not the team that's at the top of the leaderboards here. It's just unreal. That's the only way I can say it. Is like, what else? I mean, what else could you possibly ask for?
What more could we want? What more could these teams even really give? I'm thinking even just like fundamentally from the points that you can get out of the game, but we were pushing the limits.
Literally. I mean, it's so crazy to see a team. 4 Thrives in Group A did so well. Right?
Yeah.
They topped the tables, and they almost got passed up in points in just one single day, right? So we're going into day 2 here. It's time to say your prayers. Really make sure you are locked in, meditate, and focus, because getting into that grand finals here and now is so critical because of those point sponges. We're going to see most likely some monster squads in that survival stage.
Oh, we are indeed. We are indeed. And of course, that's in reality if you're able to push through, live on to fight for the survival stage, have a chance to make it to finals. Our teams that are crowned strong enough will go right through here from Group B, joining some of the best from Group A. And then again, Dukes, we've got to crush those keys and say bye-bye to 3 of our squads.
Ooh, yeah, 3 teams going home today. So you got to make sure that you put everything on the line. But it's time, folks. Here we go. Match number 1 of the second and last day of Group B and our group stage. Let's get it going.
Is that all we got, Paris? Can we get a little bit louder than that?
Let's go.
There we go. Getting fired up in the building. Live from EWC 26 for PMWC as we get into our opening game.
And it's none other than Rondo. All I know is that now I just want to see stadium finishes every single day going forward. But I don't think we're going to see that here. I don't even know if we'll ever see a 39-point game ever, right? But who knows?
History, bro.
That was history.
Crazy.
That was history. But let's see what's going to happen here now. Teams are starting to pop out. I wonder which squads did their homework, because in Group A we saw some squads find those recall players, take some teams out early, right? So I wonder if we're going to see that here. I wonder what's on the mindset of Team Vitality today, because they're a lock, right? They're going to the grand finals. Today could be a great day for them to make some tweaks, some adjustments, even take some risks, right? Like, hey, this is our weakness. Let's work on it here and now, so that way we're prepped, ready, so we can get that big $1.7 million prize pool in the finals.
But for some of our sides that struggled yesterday, can they come alive even more? We're straight into it with a classic battle. 𝘿𝙎𝙎 starts us off as the shots are coming through. Swinging the blade immediately there, mate.
Obscure knifing some players here. Alpha 7, a team everybody's got their eyes on today. And we got the Wolves, who were able in the final games yesterday to push themselves out of that bottom 3. And now they're facing some titans in this lobby. You got ETSH, that's a squad that needs to put something in here. Now you got EA as well. Just fights happening all over the place, and they got to happen here pretty quickly because this is a very southern circle effect. Barely getting those shots through that little tiny angle, but oh, that one was a good one. Effect making it happen here with the S12K 1v2. That's how you do it.
𝘿𝙄𝙎𝙎 having a bit of a struggle starts there on the drop in towards Neox, looking to get that early point accumulated off the back of it. And TT happy to take those duels quite comfortably. 3 Elim points to start us off. Obviously Rondo's Rondo, so don't worry, there'll be a lot more action yet to come.
Oh yeah, non-stop action here. You can see 721GS getting a knock there onto ETSH. That's actually a very important fight here because oh wow, there we go. 𝘿𝙎𝙎 turning up the heat, making us proud. You can see down in the bottom left, Alpha 7 crowd always so hyped, excited for their team here. They're not too far away from that top 5. Game right here could definitely put them in a good spot. Meanwhile, you got Nasser. He's got that S12K in hand. He is ready for it. Oh, he's in the wide open, though. He's got to be careful. Never mind. Rehan said, let's go find another angle.
Oh, swing outs quick as well. That's a nice connection on the doorway. Off ankle play for 𝘿𝙎𝙎, seeing if he can do too much more from this. They're going to try and bait him in, close the door and keep him guessing. Rest of the squad going down in the meanwhile, though. Oh, Jukes! The bouncing headshot, hello!
That's what I'm talking about. Jumping and from the top ropes, able to hit that shot and save his squad. So 721GS should be able to get a full reset here. ETSH quick on that recall, their recall player not messing around here. But we're going to see these teams really get set up and good to go. Yangon Galacticos only have that single player up, taking a little bit of time here to get that recall in.
Yeah, the Yangon crew quite far out, all the way over towards horaA.
Oh,
can't really get to the recall either, bro.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. I was like, where is he? And it looks like that's actually something we should actually take a look at, because Romeo is going to be heading towards TT Project Neos to try and get his recall in for his team. And that would be a devastating loss for Yangon Galacticos to go out right here, considering that they are right there on that cutoff in 6th place.
They didn't have the best run of things yesterday in some of the matches, so if this is the way they start things off, it could be very uncomfortable. We'll give you the context to that one if it happens. In the meantime, it's still a rotation for Romeo. Like Duke said though, Neo's in position to try and defend against that recall. Could be awkward. We'll stick with the fight we got here though. Vitality, the Kings yesterday. But can they keep it up right now? Clash versus Dopeness, back and forth blows. Axel going down as well. He was a key piece of the puzzle. Already removed. Oh, this is not what you want, Jukes.
Ken G running wide out in the open there, getting that shot. Very, very nice on the side of Dopeness. And that is how you get it done. Now, it does look that, like, Yangon Galacticos Romeo was avoiding that fight. He saw TT Project there. He ends up going, most likely, all the way down to Long Ho. And he should be able to get that res for his squad in just a couple of minutes. But this circle is on the south side here. We got Nongshim Red Force all the way in the north. Things are finally starting to settle down a little bit. Actually, never mind. It's the Wolves versus Alpha 7. And Elementrix getting caught out with that nade. Obscure holding this angle, waiting for someone to cross. Oh, but here comes Godlike.
Oh, Godlike got that nice nade off the top side from Adamino. Up close and personal, they're taking the fight to Alpha 7 as well. Battling both of these squads simultaneously. It'll be a great start for Godlike. Jukes. Get some early energy into today's games. Oh, boy!
Wow, throwing that nade up the stairs, catching him off. Necessary's holding those angles. He's doing those tight peaks in a 1v2 situation. It's Godlike, too strong to defeat, and they are looking to be the kings of Neox Factory.
Oh, S-Power's fired up as well, dude. From one fight to the next.
He's like, what's that over there?
Sight, dude.
What's over there behind that tree? Huh? Throwing them nades. Does he have the arm to get him? That looks good. Oh, it's a little short. Runs out in the open, man. Godlike Esports not playing today.
The flick on that, bro. 𝘿𝙄𝙎 is fired up today.
Yes, he is. Already getting some good solid points. That's 6 on the side of Godlike. That puts them in a good solid position in 5th place. And this is the thing, if Godlike win this game, what is that going to look like for these leaderboards? That's going to be a massive, massive gap between 5th and 6th place.
That's the thing, the artificial barrier right now is very fine margin, so many point vacuums on towards the top spots. If Godlike can start out and really give themselves the best case scenario to bolster their points, could change the flow of things. That's horaA from 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈, obviously went down very early, had to go for the rotate around and get his team back.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You got to make sure you hit that recall tower real quick. S2G got to hit them plays, though. 𝘿𝙗 getting that thirst. Yes, indeed. And you can see Masco got that heal off and shuts him down. That is how you do it there. So 7-2-1, making it happen. But you know what else? You guys can make it happen in game with the lucky spin that's coming out, guys. Make sure you guys get in there, hit that draw, and you can get some of those insane PMWC tournament sets. Meanwhile, 7-2-1 GS gets a nice knock there on the 𝘿𝙄𝙎. Godlike really looking to shut this fight down. It's a 1v2 situation. He gets one.
There we go.
Gets the thirst. Can he get the second?
Beautiful scene so far. Damage back done onto 𝘿𝙄𝙎, but can the squad still save it? Ooh, quick shot, J.ugz. Got to throw the clip in. Down over the top. He thought he was slick enough to mantle, but he gets the shot off.
That had to be an accident right there. I mean, I'm sure he had his jump and climb split buttons. Sometimes we have some people combine it, but if you get just a little too close, you get that animation jumping up, and you know he was just like, oh, it's over. And
So exposed, no chance to fight, bro.
Oh, it's so tough. So tough. But you know what? That is great on the side of Godlike. So they take full advantage of it. Now we're seeing the zone pop dead center here as TT Project gonna go ahead and get this ready. He's carrying his teammate there. There you go. He's moving up the hill. Effect. Knocking down horaA here. And Jiggle does have an angle, but they should be able to get to safety. Oh, no fear, never mind. Yeah, no fear on the other end. He's going to go ahead and get his revenge for his teammate there and take out 2 on the side of TT Project.
Yeah, this is far more awkward now. Trapped back just on the rock side towards the coastline. 𝘿𝙄𝙎 cooking the nade, wants to dash that towards no fear. Too shallow, few more left in the inventory though. They can try and hold him back for at least a few more seconds, but they're the ones that are at panic stations. horaA waiting for the opportunity to strike. 𝘿𝙗𝙎 so low off the engage. Effect though reels them in. He's looking for the flush on it as well.
Oh no, but he jumps down into the water. That actually could be a workout for him. Let's see if he's going to climb that hill. And it looks like he's trying to find the angle. He does. Here we go. Now they have 2 different angles they can actually fight this from. 𝘿𝙄𝙎 just says, now I'm jumping down with my teammate. 2v1 situation, but can't hit the shots. And now No Fear is at the advantage. Never mind. What is happening? Shots back and forth, but No Fear finally shuts him down.
Woo! A nail-biting fight on that one. They can at least recover, still have 3 of their players alive for horaA as well and build off the back of this. And that's 8 elim points they've racked up, leading the lobby right now.
That's the worst case scenario for this lobby because that's really like the only slot that's available there for the finals considering how well these other teams did. And Godlike are looking to close the door here nice and early, saying, you know what, if you want to try to get into the finals, you're going to need to win at least a couple games because we got such a point lead. And that is how you start it there. 8 eliminations, full squad up. It's looking good for the side of Godlike. Oh, horaA. Sky, run for your life. Drive away. And it looks like he is going to barely escape that one.
horaA, wherefore art thou, horaA? On the bridge, getting elims, but that's where he is.
He was looking right at the sky there, and that is horaA. Now we're going to look at No Fear, Get Thirsted. 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 going to actually get into this next game as the circle shifts up to the north side now. They are in the blue. This is still stage 3. They can eat a little bit of this circle for now, but it's time to finally find out where that next spot's going to be.
It's been more uncomfortable for horaA then, as they do get away with only that duo, and this could potentially be an even more uncomfortable entry back over towards the zone, as they've got to bypass Alpha 7. Vision onto them. 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾 jumps out the vehicle. Good shot from range, consistent with the orb to tuck down another one. Only 𝘿𝙎𝙎 gets out. 9 elims might be where they reach and end this one.
Man, this whole tournament has been so chaotic. You want to avoid the survival stage at all costs. Yeah, it's 6 teams out of 16 moving on from that stage. Still though, I mean, you do not want to be put in that situation. I'm talking to you, Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Team Vitality getting into it with 721GS. They do end up having one player knocked. Team Vitality, so strong yesterday. Gonna go out early here. They do get 4 eliminations, but like I said, they can do whatever the heck they want today.
Yeah, this is a quiet one for them. They've already done the hard part. Fair play though, mate. On the other side of the spectrum, right? Yes, Vitality, our top dogs, they're out, but look who's climbing up from the depths. This is now 11 eliminations they've picked up, getting over the safety of the threshold so far, 𝘿𝙎𝙎. Maintain this, you could save your tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a perfect start on the side of 721GS. And considering that it's in Rondo, right? The chance to really make up for a bad day 1, and they're doing it, right? I mean, double-digit eliminations. Now it's all about just getting into that end game. So I want to see them get themselves in a good, solid position and just focus up. Because ETSH, Hustler's crew, right? 𝘿𝙄𝙎 have not done anything so far.
No, they really haven't, and 𝘿𝙄𝙎 as well. You know, you're down to just the solo. Couple elims, sure, but it's been quiet outside of that. That was the third-party fight that opened things up to allow them to collapse onto it. The replay here is when 𝘿𝙄𝙎 lost a lot of their members up against Vitality. I'm curious, 𝘿𝙎𝙎 as well. I think mechanically yesterday we saw Alpha 7 look very good in terms of how they were approaching the game, but they never had any luck on their side.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was saying. You know, I was looking at their numbers for the past 2 international tournaments. They were getting tons of eliminations and like 0 placement points. Very, very low on that end. And so I want to see them get into finally some late games and show what they can do.
Yeah.
It's just been so difficult lately, especially when you have a few teams just do something so insane, right? It's wild to see what happened yesterday. But today's a new day. Another team that I want to see make something happen is 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝙀, right? I expected a lot from this squad, and now they are still very far down the leaderboard. You can see them pushing into that circle from the south side. Let's see if they can make it up here in Rondo.
For Alpha 7, their eyes might be lighting up off the back of the recall for 𝘿𝙄𝙎. They're all parachuting back in relatively close by. Could be a chance for those 3 to fight with the arena in close proximity, but 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝙀 are in the move, back in towards the zone. Godlike not far out with Manya, just up on the ridge side there, supported by the rest of the crew. It was a bumpy early game for Yangon, but after that recall, they've been pretty comfortable, at least on their rotation path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it worked out well for them, especially considering that they were pretty late in this game because of that recall. It took a long time, but you know, that's the way this game works. Sometimes those circles just shift and the fights happen in such a perfect way where you're able to sneak your way into zone pretty clear. It doesn't happen often, so when it does, you gotta take advantage of it. And it's no better place to happen, honestly, in Rondo, right? The game where you can end up with 39 points.
It's all about those big finishes. Curious if there's a chance we get a bit of an extension into each other there with 𝘿𝙄𝙎 right on top of 𝘿𝙎𝑎𝑙. He's the one player that's fragmented off from the 1-3 split they've currently got going. 𝘿𝙎𝑎𝑙 further out doing a bit of scouting as well. This is the establishing shot for 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝑎 and Godlike. Godlike obviously far more set up with cover to work with off the back of the warehouses. 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝑎 not so lucky.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to hold this little valley right here and hold it good for now. Not a terrible spot in this next zone, not the best either, but this is 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝑎 after all. Still pretty wild to see them down in 12th place, 24 points, very uncharacteristic and unexpected, at least from a lot of people here. You got QZZ, a superstar, that can really, really wring things out. But all it takes is, for a lot of these teams, just one good situation where their back's against the wall and let their gun skill shine. And, I mean, I would not be shocked with 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝙀, who has 0 points right now. They could end up with 20 very easily here.
72-1GS as well. Still looking to see if they can squeeze any more points out of this one. 𝘿𝙎𝙎 taking the hits onto Alpha 7. A bit of a back and forth already. Ravo looking to close the gap as he drives by. Good control. Switching seats and hitting shots as he puts them down. And quite quickly, manhandles 𝘿𝙎𝙎. They do lose horaA though, so it will be a 3-man squad for the A7 crew.
Yeah, you can see the crowd showing off them Rebel jerseys. The man, the myth, the legend is here, and he is putting in some work. This is what we needed to see from A7. 8 eliminations so far. You're right, yeah, 𝘿𝙎𝙎 did get taken out, but for 8 elims, that is a sacrifice that you got to be willing to take. But job's not done yet. Still a lot more work if you want to make it straight to those finals, and they do get a nice knock there onto Mormon.
Alpha 7. Looking like they're starting to hit that high tempo. Caught whiff of 𝘿𝙎𝙎 further back and take pot shots onto them. Meanwhile, before the zone moves, you can see 𝘿𝙎𝙎 took a few shots over the Hustler crew, and that's the crunch in, Jukes.
That's the crunch in that's going to make things interesting. The circle goes to the north side. That's huge on the side of Godlike right here. A perfect zone shift for them. Taking a look there at the leaderboards so far. This is the problem though, right? I mean, we were so hype about Alpha 7. 9 eliminations. This is a great game, right? The problem is that you're hunting down 5th place. Godlike have 8. So you've only closed that gap by 1 point so far.
Try as they might, there's still so much more to do. And even then, during the map feed, we could see like they were getting consistent damage back over to 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝙎, so they're not giving up any of this fight. They're still looking like they want to try. They know the win condition, Jukes.
Yeah. This is the problem though, right? If you don't have a great day 1, you could have a good solid day 2, but it could be too late, right? Especially if you see consistency from those top 5 teams. They're going to keep on pushing that point threshold even further and further beyond. So for Alpha 7, if you want to catch up to top 5, yeah, the 10-point game isn't going to be enough. You're going to need a 20 to try and close that gap. So they still are in this game with 3 players up. The problem is that Godlike is as well, as so is every team that really matters, because Vitality, no one captured them. They can go out early. But for everybody else still here, it's going to make things interesting.
72-1GS going in on Alpha 7. They got an opening knock. They want to try and capitalize off it, Jukes. They've swung round. That's 1 tag back over, but it doesn't look like it's going well for the elimination feed right now. This could be the downfall of Alpha 7. Seems like it's just a solo remaining, trying to hold on to it. This is the POV.
There we go, we got it now. You can see 𝘿𝙎𝙎 trying to get some shots down range, shooting, busting some vehicles here all over the place, but he gets put in a blender. 𝘿𝙎𝙎, they heard that fight happen, and they came to disrupt it, and they definitely did. But now Young Galactico said, oh, you want some of that action? We'll take some of that as well, and they take him out.
Cleanup crew plays goodbye 𝘿𝙎𝙎. See you later, Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Godlike have been battling versus ETSH. It's all kicking off around the zone. 72-1GS. They thought they were cooking with gas. Silenced on the clap back there. 𝘿𝙎𝙎 Galacticos. Trying to get them to remember their name, Jukes. They got to say it with their chest.
What an interesting play, honestly. 72-1GS, 15 eliminations, doing so good. They're like, yeah, let's go to the spot where we just saw 2 teams get wiped out immediately. And unfortunately, one of their players gets knocked. But here comes the rest of these squads.
Godlike popping off on the top side. They shut down ETSH. Big plays from Godlike as the crowd starts to give them even more energy. Meanwhile, this encounter between 72-1GS and 𝘿𝙎𝙎 Galacticos rages on. Arcs the nades in. Stereo setup, Dukes. Here comes the boom.
Bang, bang, bang. 72-1GS getting punished by 𝘿𝙎𝙎 Galacticos. Tough start for them, and now looking to finish strong. It's all up to Masco. And those nades are just inching closer and closer. He's got to hit some shots here to buy himself some time.
Ooh, zone shift as well, crunching in. It's still good for Godlike.
The crowd went nuts.
They're loving that.
The second they saw that shit, they're like, that's what I'm talking about. This is our game to win. And this is worst case scenario, literally for the entire lobby, because that's the one team you didn't want to pop off, because that was the one slot that looked juicy, available, but now it's looking like it's long gone. Let's see what 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 can do, though. They're going to start pushing up on the Masco. Yeah, Masco, oh man, those blades, those shots too strong. No way he survives this. Yeah, he's a goner.
𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄, slowly but surely getting their head above water, piecing together some big plays, but Tianba, are they the squad that can clash and take this goods location off of Godlike? Well, 𝘿𝑗𝑎𝑑𝑒𝑠 Nade has other ideas, and 𝐴DMINO also stepped up to the plate, leaving two of the Tianba squad down on the deck. This is the push in from 𝘿𝑗. Shotgun, low HP on Godlike, quick shots, but he can't quite find it. Panic stations, Duke, they're all going down.
𝑠power is shutting down this monster squad. Said, oh, I hear you coming this way. Eat some of these nades, baby. And now QZZ stuck in the blue zone. He's just going to go out here. He said, you know what? Deny the point, and Godlike looking unstoppable here in this match.
Do we need to say more? The energy of the arena here in Paris says enough about the excitement from the plays from Godlike. And like you said early, they're ruling the roost, gifted the angle to stay where they wanted to be with the zone, and Tianba was the only squad that tried to fight them for it, and they failed.
Hey, you know what? Some people could say that's a lucky shift, but Godlike, they're making their own luck here. Tianba pushed up, and they shut that down so dang fast. 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄, they're in trouble here. They're on that south side. They're outside of the zone. They're getting gate kept by everybody down here. Now it's all up to 𝘿𝑗𝑎𝑑𝑒 to make a play for his team and try to get these reses. He's going to throw the smoke, but the zone is closing. Yeah, 𝘿𝑗𝑎𝑑𝑒's going to be the only one up left.
So low in HP, in a horrible position.
And here comes blue. And bye-bye.
Give yourself up to it. Unless there's a hero play to be made, it'd have to be something miraculous.
Oh.
I mean, they've got a divot off the back of the damage to the terrain. He could save Romeo with at least nonShin Redforce attention right now, not being hard stuck on him. I mean, Dukes, it's better than going out.
Got him up, and that does deny the point at least. So if they go down the blue zone, then they're going to deny it here. Romeo inching up little by little, is going to try to make a play though. Here he goes, throwing some nades out. Gets knocked there. And so easy said, yeah, no, I'm getting that confirmation. I need those points.
Just say Cloud left them. He's still got a ton of utility left to work with as he throws in that nade. Zone eating away at him. I mean, it's good chip damage, and it's even making it more enticing for Godlike to take pot shots at him. He's just trying to buy time to live out.
Yeah, he's using that heal strat to maybe even get a little bit of extra placement. The problem is though that the second the zone pops in 5 seconds, he's gone. So let's see. Can't even get that heal off. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yeah, so his play zone is going to take out 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄 there, as nonShin Redforce are the team holding the south side, but Godlike are just spreading their wings here, saying it's time. We want all these eliminations. Let's shut down this game in some beautiful fashion.
How far can they take it? A quieter approach to things from S2G on this one. nonShin playing it smart, playing their cards close to their chest, but they've suffered a fair bit of damage off the back of being pinned into this position, being shot at from 2 angles. Whereas Godlike, they've just been ruling the roost, Jukes.
Whew. I mean, they got a baker's dozen already. They're looking real good. 13 eliminations. And look at this, finding those tight angles, tight peaks. They know this game's in the bag here. It's literally Godlike's game to lose. Let's see if they can close it out, though. That's always going to be the question. Oh, nonShin are there. They are toast, dude. They're forced to run out in the wide open. No smokes available. And, man, they just get deleted. Godlike soaking up all these eliminations. If you're nonShin Redforce, honestly, it's really interesting to see them kind of go for this strategy here, as they're going to be feeding a lot of points on the side of Godlike. And that is 16 on the day. Then Group B's rondos have just been ridiculous.
Yeah, we've not seen anything like it, man. Some crazy games. As you'd expect, nonShin, they had no pathway back in to try and vie for contest this game. So the last man falls, and this is what it comes down to. STG versus Godlike. They had a bit of a scouting play. They found this duo of Manya up towards the top side. Might want to actually collapse on it. Lost goes in quick. S-Power cooking the nade. Good chip damage from Manya. Switches to the shotgun. Baits them in. He wants to fight, and the nade from S-Power once again is a delight for this roster as they are sending reverberations throughout the 𝘿𝙎𝙎 grid, bringing the heat down on S2G.
S-Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple other players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease.
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Paris. It's Godlike's time to shine.
The energy of this arena says enough about the excitement and the plays that this team has been making, and they deserve every bit of celebration they're getting, Jukes.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this was that one slot that looked like it was available. The top four looking very far away, very out of reach. But Godlike said, you know what? Let's just shut that door right here and right now. This top five is locked, right? Now, at the same time, there's still quite a few games left here, right? You got to put up consistent points, but if those top five do that, it may just be too far to reach.
That's the scary bit, right? Is obviously some of the other squads that were above the teams that were looking to climb, they fell out pretty early there. Like Vitality not getting a great game out of this one. Godlike capitalizing where it matters most. Like you say, dude, you've made it so much harder for the mid-portion teams. You want to get into finals? Yeah, good luck. You might just have to go to survival, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, even a team like Alpha 7, who was doing great this game, right? They had a good, solid amount of eliminations, but at the end of the day, you know, you could put up a 15-point game. If the team you're hunting down puts down 16, you did nothing. As a matter of fact, now you're behind a point, right? So that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. It takes full-fledged consistency in both days, and look at that. I mean, they just basically said, hey, bring it, baby. Good luck. Try catching us now.
Oh, yeah. Pulling ahead. Everyone's blowing up. You can hear the excitement, bro. It's insane, the energy we've got here right now at EWC. And it's a spectacle to behold. You come in to what was an explosive day yesterday of sheer talent, unexpected results, crazy circles, and then we start to run it back all over again.
Oh, that is how you do it right there, guys. Let's get it going here. We got some more action coming up in just a bit.
Here at PMWC at EWC 26, we have many activities that we can do before the games, in between the games, and after the games. And I think Max is there currently doing something. So let's see if maybe we can go in and give him a bit of a challenge, as he almost just absolutely ate it. Max, come over here, Max.
I'm training, I'm doing my routine.
No, I think you've been training. Let's do a 1v1. Pick a spot somewhere over here. If you make it, I'll try to match the shot.
I'm gonna wreck you.
Oh, let's see if he can actually do this. All right, come on now.
On the X.
Okay, all right, on the X. Let's see if it's gonna go in.
I checked the math. The best way to throw a basketball is actually the granny shot like this.
Let's see if it's gonna happen. Oh my, okay, you know what? I'll give it a chance.
I'm just giving you a chance right now.
Okay, here, hold on to this.
Okay, come on. Mr. 7WG in the court. Yeah, the granny shot. From behind. No way, Jose. That was terrible. Wait, he's cheating. You just got 2 in a row. That was actually not bad.
That was close. We're getting closer and closer. We're going to keep on practicing, and we'll see if maybe one of us can make the shot. Come on, Max. You got to make at least one for us. Okay, well, we'll keep on practicing our skills. Back to more PMWC at EWC 26.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
I had to steal it from Alpha 7 because godlike, my goodness, what a performance we just saw out of that squad, controlling the North and absolutely smacking everybody.
Yes, this is what we wanted to see from them. Let's go. Some really, really good stuff, right, Max? I mean, we just saw so much from this team. The 2-2 split, we were talking about this, and a really nice 2-2 split coming on through there. Really good stuff coming in. I want to say SGG did make the right call going for the duo on the North because it was the high ground, it was cut off, but sending an extra player from Godlike up to there to defeat, to defend, to get those nades, some excellent nades coming in from them. Very well-deserved win coming in from Godlike.
I mean, in particular, when talking about grenades, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾, oh my goodness, some of the fights he was taking inside of 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾's factory, he put a nade like literally on 2 extra floors up in that building, and he just gets it on that player up there. It was incredible stuff from 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾, Admino 2. No eliminations coming out from Manya, but he was like the RTS master, just putting his troops where they need to be to get that chicken dinner. So great IGLing, great fragging power, and of course they're getting a total of 20 elims on a rondo. Oh my goodness, they're here to play.
Impressive stuff there out of Godlike. You might be wondering, why are we comparing them with 7-1 GS? Because this squad needed to make sure they got out of the bottom 3, and they were able to do just that, Lace.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly understanding the assignment today. They had a 2.1 average point day yesterday. So, you know, this is clear. This is clear that they had to do this. They cleared that eastern side, transitioned smoothly into the middle of zone with 8 eliminations. No team casualties. It's a massive turnaround for this team. Then, to cut the head of the snake, taking down Vitality is a huge power play. And I mean, this was a crucial 15 eliminations that they added to their tally to put them at 11th spot.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive push. They started the day in 15th place. A team that needs those points. Godlike as well. With this, Godlike moving even closer and closer to the finals as we take a look at the match ranking here. horaA Esports, I mean, we'll get a chance to talk about Yangon Galacticos in a bit, but horaA Esports continuing to be consistent as well with that fragging power we know they're capable of.
Yeah, very happy about horaA Esports, right? We saw NoFear get some really good fights from their side. Unfortunately, at the end, didn't have the numbers to really defend against Yangon Galacticos, going for their crossing over. But I want to highlight one team that's very important here in terms of storylines at the bottom of the rankings. It's 7-2-1 GS Esports. They woke up massively here on Rondo. 15 eliminations, 1 placement point, which is, you know, like, meh, okay, sure, but overall 7-2-1 doing a massive push to get rid of that bottom 3 slot.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Lace was just talking about as well with Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ends up getting those 9 eliminations. This is good for this squad, but one thing that we need to point out is those teams that they were trying to hunt down for the top 5, they were still alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how it goes into the next couple of games with this. I do want to say one thing, though, is A7, much better already today than yesterday, for me at least. I mean, they had better presence. There was more just meaning behind their splits. That 1-3 split coming in, the info was better. It just felt like a team that had a lot more synergy than they did yesterday. So definitely very excited to see what we got coming in for A7.
Yeah, I mean, they had better scouting today. Yeah. So you could clearly see that they were actually prioritizing this a little bit more than yesterday. Obviously, we had an awesome interview with them. They said they were going to try some different plays, but it seems like they're returning to their natural presence, which is amazing. And I mean, that that drive-by from Revo, man, that was so incredibly clean, well calculated. One casualty out of that, but this is the aggressiveness that we expect from our Brazilian team.
That Brazilian team is going to be looking for me because I did end up losing an instrument. You know what? I'll join you guys. Why not? Okay, I'll put it back down. They're going to be looking for me. It's going to be hard for me to get out of here. But Max, one team that was able to actually do a good rotation, have a good strategy here, and a team that needs it is the defending champions of PMWC, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈.
Yeah, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝙆𝙆 and Galacticos actually a team that was, I would say, a little bit more passive towards the very later stages of this game, but actually ahead of that, their rotations from the western side, able to cross that bridge against the side of horaA, with just some great rotations, and especially great scouting from this team that I think a lot of teams could try and learn from the scouting capabilities of 𝘿𝙎𝙆 and Galacticos, especially at one point, if you're leaving 𝘿𝙄𝙆 behind them on a high ground position in that one building to make sure he can scout for his teammates which positions are free, which positions are available, and then the entire team just send it over to the eastern side of those buildings to get the high ground for themselves.
No, you got a illustration for us. Natura, do me a favor, grab the mic from him so you can actually use both hands.
There you go.
And if you want to, yeah, put the mic.
I need to talk in the mic, thank you. Now, if you're looking at this position here, one big point of contention that 𝘿𝙆𝙆 and Galacticos got for free because of that insanely good scouting is going to be here, and this is like a two-tiered parking slot that they're going to be playing, which is a high ground position and literally the entirety of the circle. But before that rotation, they had a scout that was actually over here in this position, and he was just providing information while his teammates were going for that wide rotation into that compound. The scout, it's a lot of microphones. The scouting was just on point. I wish they were just more aggressive later on, but in terms of the rotation in the early to mid-game stage, 𝘿𝙆𝙆 still have it here at PMWC 2026.
𝘿𝙆𝙆 still got it, baby, and you still got it too. Feeling like a celebrity over there, Max, with so many microphones just surrounding you. But for this squad, we need to continue to see that proactiveness. We need to continue to see everything that we're seeing out of them to maintain themselves closer or within the top 5, because right now, eArena has been a team that has been slowing down a lot. They started off hot, and they are currently in 5th place.
I mean, just to give you guys a recap, we saw complete control from eArena on Rondo yesterday. Started at Stadium, continued at Stadium, and ended at Stadium with a record-breaking 29 points. But from today, starting on 3 eliminations. I mean, you know, it does come down to zone pull, but it seems like they're not showing their presence that they did yesterday. Obviously still kind of maintaining that nice average to keep them above that line, but this is something, you know, we expect it coming, especially on Rondo on this map, that they would have been taking charge of everything.
Yeah, and we're looking now at the new bottom 3. The new bottom 3, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘆, ETSH, Hustler Crew, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘆. I know that squad, it hasn't been looking good, and now they're in the bottom 3.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd one for me because like they're one of the only teams that didn't hot drop on Rondo, right? Everybody went to NEX except for a few, and 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘆 was one of them. I want to see more from that. Maybe a hot drop. Maybe a hot drop.
I'm actually not super hopeful about them because their best game yesterday was on Rondo. Today they did nothing on their map.
Well, can 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘆 maybe turn it around today, as we're going to be sending it over to the first Erangel of the final day for Group B. 𝘿𝙎𝙎𝘆, Jackie, take it away.
Here we go into Erangel. Let's get it going here. And I like what the desk was talking about, right? They're talking about the new bottom 3, you know, and I think that's where our eyes are going to definitely be on here for the rest of the day, because unless these teams in the mid-pack do something crazy consistently, we may not see a new top 5 for a minute here, because there is already a 15-point gap, Jack, between 5th and 6th place. And with how these top 5 teams have been playing, it's going to be pretty tough to cross that.
Yeah, it's feeling really defined already, right? That's kind of what we were talking about, the downtime between last game and this one. So effectively, yeah, you've got to just keep your eyes locked in on who's in the bottom right now. That's the biggest area of movement we're looking at, where realistically there is chances for some teams to save what could have otherwise been a really rough run in Group B. At top dogs, though, unless teams start targeting them, Jigs, and things get spicy, I feel like they've just looked so consistent, they've looked so hardy, it's going to be really rough to push them out of this position.
It's going to be tough indeed, but if you're going to go ahead and make it happen, it's most likely going to happen on Erangel. So here we go, folks. Match number 2 of Group B. Final day of the groups, right? We still have survival stage coming up. but it's all come down to this. So yeah, 15-point gap. Now, you know, mathematically, for all you guys watching, you're like, hey, come on, it's 15 points. It can still happen, right? And it definitely can. The issue is the fact that the top 5 teams are still going to get points, right? So, you know, if we see the top 5 put up 5 points here, that's now a 20-point gap, right? So, honestly, I think if you are in that 6th place on down, I wonder what the coaches are saying, right? I think if it's you're gonna have to start really talking about guys like a regular game is no longer okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, right? Just be like, look, guys, I want to let's cut our losses. Just go for a hard drop. Do something. We've got to just try something.
Yeah.
If we can starve them from getting no points, I believe in Paris that'd be nil point. There you go. Check that one, Max Man. Let me know. Yeah, if you can actually just target them, deny them physically even being able to play one battleground here, just starve them out for a game. Maybe you've got a chance. But yeah, like you say, normality, probably not going to be ideal.
This ain't normal though, bud. We're getting these circles again.
Oh, are you kidding me? Here we go again. Southern plane path, super northern circle. You know, I would normally be like, Team Vitality, ain't too happy about that. But yeah, again, like probably know what's catches of the day pretty much no matter what. So they're good with this one. But this could be a good opportunity, right, for the rest of the lobby to make something happen here. Now, one of the teams that desperately want to is 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝙀𝙀. Okay, they're in 6th place with 46 points. They're right there below that cutoff. And this is not the best circle for them at all.
No, far harder of a rotation, obviously something they're quite comfortable with in terms of the drop location, but like you say, having to make that whole wrap is going to be brutal for them. But we've got something that's going to be very exciting for all of the viewers, Jim.
Yeah, and it's going to be that Naruto skin. That's right, guys, join that Uzumaki Naruto event. Get that Nine-Tails Yuri on. Get your hands on that bad boy because the AUG is OP, and you're gonna do it in style right here. But oh, look at this! Oh, nice little shot there back from Jiggle. He put up a fight, but Godlike, man, I'm telling you, these guys are just having a phenomenal day. It's wild to see 39 points in Rondo on day 1, and then Godlike busts down 30 here. So I mean, when it comes to Rondo, Group B just weren't playing.
No, he certainly had the upper echelons of Rondo gameplay. Made it look super exciting in some of the instances we've been gifted over yesterday and today. And the ideal scenario, like you touched on there for Godlike, right? Come back in swinging once again. Target some of these squads. The only benefit to that is if you're playing with a 3-man squad for horaA, if this is a bit more of a weakened knee, there's a chance where obviously Godlike thinking, right, we can try and lap them, push ourselves further into the safety net. Helps them out, the other teams not so much. Still got to be a far better game.
Man, I tell you, if I'm any of these other teams in this lobby and I see Godlike already starting off with elimination, I'm like, oh, this is not good. You know, like they're already getting hot off the rip. That's gonna make things tough. So I'm talking about 𝘿𝙬𝙎𝙀𝙀 all the way down to Tianba. It still freaks me out to see Tianba down in 13. I had them as a lock for top 5 here. That's going to make the survival stage that much more interesting though, right? I mean, we heard Neptura, right? She was happy to see some movement from Alpha 7. I am as well, but you got to look at the reality of things, right? Like, that game was good, but it did nothing. It really didn't do anything when it comes to them trying to make it into top 5 purely because of how good our top 5 teams did.
Now that's the kind of the rough parts about it. It's what we've been saying from the games we saw yesterday as well, where mechanically they're making the right moves. You know that they're damn talented as individuals as well. They're playing off each other nicely. It looks like the comms are looking far cleaner in moments of chaos, but that only goes so far. If you're not able to get yourself into a good position, constantly fighting heads and tails to get even a reasonable compound, a reasonable location in the zone, man. Just feels like you're coming in doing this on hard mode, realistically.
Literally. I mean, that's the one thing I've noticed here, especially in PMWC live here in Paris, is good games are good and all, right? But the thing is the teams at the top of the leaderboards, they're not doing good games. They're not even doing great games, right? They're doing something special. They're doing something that we've never seen before. And you just can't compete with that, right? Just good isn't good enough here at this stage. If you want that top prize pool, you got to break records. You got to do something special.
I think it's spot on. It's what we've seen. The quality of competition has raised to a new level. And these are going to be terrifying squads to add back when we get all the way through towards finals. That's a conversation for another time though. 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 taking some shots over onto S2G. A bit of a sleeper squad to the previous game. Gave a good run of things, all things considered, with how they approached it. 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 limping away, crossing his fingers, thinking maybe there's a chance, maybe I can get picked up. Just don't give Marnet another knock for free off the back of it. That's the worst case.
I already know what he's telling his teammate. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. I promise, I'm give me. And he got it. Nice. Okay. Able to catch 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 there, but Young Galacticos are looking in this direction. Ooh. Those stairs. All it takes is one little bullet through it, but oh, he does get that red. So now, hopefully, we're going to see 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 get to safety. This is a bridge gatekeeper on Northern Zone too. That's ridiculous. I'm surprised we're seeing Young Galacticos take so much time to do this, because this is on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, they're not on the mainland. They've got a long way to go as well. You got a lot of attention from them, at least looking back over towards the coast. I mean, Smile's in a position where potentially they're not ready for the read. If he bobs up Jukes, couple quick shots here. Ooh, could be the difference maker. I mean, Marnet's got the shot off again, so a re-knock onto 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈. Smile's advancing. This could be really bad.
I don't like this fight at all, personally. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're S2G, you're in 7th place, 45 points, right? You're gatekeeping and out of position in the next circle. Like, I get you're trying to hunt down 4 eliminations, but that's not enough, right? In order to get into that top 5, it's chicken dinner time. So to risk putting yourself behind positioning wise is just not worth it. I think at this point, just leave this fight. Go into the circle, try to get into that end game.
Gone on the underside of the bridge, so 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈 can at least keep himself safe for now and try and catch them off guard, peeking from the other angle. They have that hovercraft waiting for them effectively as like the escape plan. But yeah, it's super elongated battle between these two. Burning through so many of your early reserves as well, just trapped, just sitting pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get it. You're really committing for 4 eliminations here. But again, you're more than 15 points, I think 16 points behind 5th place. So it's an interesting play. But who knows, right? S2G could get these 4 limbs, run into circle, catch a lucky third party, and it could work out. But at the end of the day, that zone goes even more north. This strategy is looking more grim by the second.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for them, does it? How they're so close, man, in terms of the standings. So like, they're super heavily convinced about this being worth it. But you can see the difference of a team like Vitality. They've gone, right, it's time to go. There's no one on our bridge. Let's get out of here safely.
I just imagine like Team Vitality, the comms right now, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, la 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 la, we're good. You know, like, why don't we just take a look at Pachinki? You know, what? You guys need anything else? An extra energy drink? Anything like that? They're just so solid on the leaderboard. It's ridiculous here. But oh, here we go. Big fight here. 7-2-1 GS. Get into it. 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄𝙈. QTZ. Turn around with a shotgun. Gets a couple little hit markers, but it's not good enough. Gonna have to make a play. Oh, but that is 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾 of all teams getting eliminated, and another huge start.
You got Alpha 7 as well, keeping their eyes on this with Wolves also right on top of them. The dinner bell's been rung, Jukes, and this is what we're expected to see. What's going on? Alpha 7?
The aggression is ramping up. I think they listen to their coaches. They're like, we have to fight early. We need tons of eliminations if we want to make it to the finals, and it's Dopeness battling it out with A7. A7 down to a single player. It's disaster for the Brazilian team.
Man, I need to see that one back from their POV, Jukes. Problem stations here. This is getting brutal for them already. Alpha 7 just with Obscure left. It felt like they had seized an opportunity to attempt a third party onto that and squeeze some points, but it all blows up in their face, literally.
Oh, such a rough finish for A7. Down to just Obscure here. really fortunate on the side of 721GS, who in that last game, and if they do good on this one, should put them in a really, really good position to at least make it to the survival stage. And who knows, right? I mean, with a good chicken dinner here, could even possibly get them a little closer to that top 5. We'll have to see how 𝘿𝙄𝙎, 𝘿𝙖ℍ do in this game. But now we're just going to see Alpha 7. Yeah, 𝘿𝙄𝙎 just going to have to do something for his team here. Really, really needs to sneak away a couple of eliminations.
You see the migration from S2G that did abandon their post in the end, leaving the bridge. Here's the replay. Okay, so this is it. It looks like it was the teammate, then I imagine, on the bounce.
Oh no!
Saw it in the 𝘿𝙗 feed, 𝘿𝙗. I'm thinking, how on earth does this happen? Like, you just trapped in a building? What's going on? The strafe with a nade. Oh, mate.
Those windows used to be bigger. I think that's what it was.
I don't even know if that would have helped, but nade's not that big.
You gotta thread that needle, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it didn't. It wasn't really a needle, it was a whole window. But you know what? It happens. It happens. You're under pressure. You got vehicles driving up on you. You're trying to make it to the finals, and just one little misplay, you get punished. Yesterday, we saw the Wolves, right, flip a car and get taken out because of it. And that just goes to show at this high level, one tiny mistake could be meaning going to the finals or going home.
Didn't expect that one. You'd be fuming as well.
Oh, yeah.
I hope the mental isn't brittle off the back of the team, Nade. You got to reset from it, 𝘿𝙗.
Yeah, looking at the bottom of the leaderboards here, the fact that 𝑇iANBLE went out so early, we're going to see them in the bottom 3, most likely here after this game alone. I mean, you got Dopeness only 1 point away from passing them up. ETSH are still up with 4. Hustlers Crew are up with 3. So one of the favorites going into this lobby, who, in my opinion, QZZ is one of the best players in the world. To see them struggle so hard in Group B is just shocking for me. But let's look over here at 𝘿𝙗𝙎, who are going to have the warehouse near 𝘿𝑉𝑟NY. This is a really solid position. No matter where the zone goes, they're going to have a lot of real estate to be able to drive to there. So let's see how they decide to defend against it. It's not even that easy to press up on.
TT on the quick rotate. Last remember from Alpha 7 there in 𝘿𝑗 down on the deck. And they're getting themselves into the zone, forging a path forward, and thankfully haven't been popped off by any of the teams in these positions, although maybe that will change with no fear. Ooh, chip damage, 𝘿𝙗, but not enough.
Put some shots down range, and everyone's just playing keep away. Say, hey, no, someone's here. Do not full send it onto my building, please, and thank you. Oh, Wolves, okay. Nice nade there on the 721GS. That's a huge fight. That's 10th and 11th place going at it. But it looks like they are just within little nade range. Not fighting it out just yet. Now we're going to look at 𝘿𝙗𝙎. Okay, 𝘿𝙗𝙎 mighty close here to 𝘿𝑉𝑟NY. I don't think 𝘿𝑉𝑟NY want any of this fight right now. They're just going to push a little bit further down south the hill. Mormon catches 𝘿𝑉𝑟NY. Oh, the Wolves looking hurt here, as that's 2 players down. But �ΕλEMENTRIX, we're here seeing a battle go out, and here he goes. �ΕlEMENTRIX getting thirsted, and I believe that is the Wolves eliminated.
The Wolves not surviving as a pack. 1 by 1, they're gone. 𝘿𝙗𝙎 resetting off the back of it. Grab Mormon, throw him in the vehicle, and get away to pick him up.
Yeah, wild to see here. Is 𝘿𝙗𝙎 going to push on over to that warehouse? We see Young Galacticos just south of 𝘿𝙗𝙎 underneath the hill. Romeo, yeah, using that hovercraft. That's the vehicle to use to get some extra intel. They're pushing up with it. Immediately 𝘿𝙗𝙎 start putting some shots just to try and get it down a little bit further. But Young Galacticos are like, hey, yeah, we're here. Do you want to fight us? Maybe? Maybe you guys just go in the zone, we do as well? Well, let's see what happens.
Yangon don't want that smoke, man.
Oh,
Take Cloud now, but the back exposed. S-Power.
Lucky.
I know, dude. He's been so slick as well. That's the one time we've not seen him get an instant elim off something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think he was expecting to see someone white out in the open, and when you just give him that tiny pixel, he knocks it down. S-Power on point. That's the fight to open things up. Oh, and his nades too have been so dangerous today. It's a 4v3 situation. Let's see how Godlike decides to take this fight. They're already starting to wrap around, get their claws into 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘶. They're going to have to get moving here pretty quick.
Yeah, the pincer play. Wrap around, set up, giving their squad more of an understanding of what's going on here, whilst the rest of our teams around the zone do begin to duel one another. F is there from TT, falling. 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘶 replying back onto 721GS. And that fight does result in them going down. Out of the running, but another game with 6 elims, Dukes.
Unreal. Now TT Project are down to 1 as well. That's 10 through 13. Pretty much almost out here. That's a huge opportunity for our bottom 3 to get out of there. And meanwhile, Neons actually does a good job of getting a knock onto ETSH. So he's keeping his team alive. Oh, gets knocked. Now it's just up to effect. Last player up for TT Project. Now getting ran over, and that is them gone. And this is a huge opportunity now for ETSH. 7 points on the board. They're looking good to get themselves out of that bottom 3.
Looks like we lost Obscure from Alpha 7 there as well. I believe that was 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝙗 that went for the wrap down, found the solo and dispatched him, so he's gone.
Unreal here. 𝘿𝙗𝙗 now pushing up onto Godlike, but S-Power on point all day long. Valiant Admito with another knock, punishing 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝙗𝙀. And at 6th place goes out here. This is top 5, pretty much all in it. This is the worst case scenario for this lobby.
God, this is absolutely brutal. Smile's literally the only one that could get away. Got back behind the vehicle, pieced out to create space between the two, but for Godlike, it seems like the fight isn't going to be over. It's only just getting started. nonShin Red Force close by, S2G as well, pushing up the hill. Nades onto the smokes. Fingers crossed that it'll connect onto someone.
S-Power gets in the vehicle. Oh, goodness gracious. This lobby is looking pretty crispy at this point, because our top 5 teams are all in this. Bunch of teams in that mid-pack are gone. Next zone does pop, goes right towards that center position. Godlike are going to use that high ground and gun skill to dominate this side of the map. And it looks like they are looking way too good to start the day. Man, S-Power has just been ridiculous today. And that last game was insane. Even here, his shots are just so on point. He came ready to play today.
He's quick, stylish, and certainly delivering out there on the battleground, Jigs.
Maybe that's what the S stands for.
Hey, yo. I wouldn't fault him for it. He's been living up to the brand with the plays he's been making. 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝙗. What a utility left to work with, and they're casting that up towards this little ridge. A rock between them and ETSH. Nearby bounce on the nade. Apriko's got to double back slightly for 𝘿𝙗𝙗. Somewhat effective in these angles. Slight off angle where he can peek down on you. He loves these sort of peaks.
Come on, 𝘿𝙗𝙗, let's see what you can do. Oh, 𝘿𝙗𝙗 getting hit with that nade. He's going to back it on up. So you know what, I'll leave those smokes right there. Looks like they're seeming to throw a bombardment on them. So 𝘿𝙗𝙗 doing a good job, back it up. Just, hey, take our time. We can't afford to get knocked here. This is still stage 5. This is wild. I mean, I think these teams in the mid-pack all played super aggressive, and it just didn't work out for like almost any of them.
It's the exact opposite of what really they needed to get out from this one. The rich will only get richer towards the top, and our bottom 3 squads all still in the running. That's where the movement could be off a game like this. If ETSH can keep up the gameplay we've seen with 4 players alive and 7 elims in the bank already, maybe they can start to climb out.
Nice knock there. 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝙗 gets a nade onto Admino from Godlike. Here we go. It's Godlike versus S2G. Good nade in that direction. Ooh, doesn't hit the mark just yet. And meanwhile, yeah, look at that smile from 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙇𝘼𝙄, just hiding for his life here.
He's just sat inside that smoke. Oh, the vehicle so close to finding him as they're looking to bonnet him. 𝘿𝑝ower's on the move as well.
Oh!
Chicaning around, but S2G lose another player down to 2. Lost, living up to his name because he's panicking right now. Can't quite find him, but 𝘿𝑝ower takes a bullet to the back of the head. The SMG delivers. Goodbye, godlike, as S2G win out on that one.
Huge play on the side of S2G right there, right on time too. You take out Godlike, who have now moved into second place. You got to get these reses though, and the blue zone is closing. You're gonna go ahead and pick him up, get him into that vehicle. It's smoke. Oh, never mind. Says, this ride is for myself and myself alone, as I'm driving into a whole bunch of shots. Oh, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾. That is looking like it is going to be it. Yeah, he has to move away from the vehicle. It explodes. And S2G, nice fight, but not able to convert anything afterwards.
Hey, there's Vitality as well, getting LOS onto that. They see them and instantly farm through, stealing away some extra points. Does 𝘿𝑚ile make a move? The solo here from 𝘿𝑒onG. He's thinking about the big picture, Jukes, but look how tempting this is.
Hello! And 𝘿𝑒𝑖𝑠y somehow survived that. The trap that was sprung, and he was able to get out with the cheese. He got out with the cheese unscathed.
Ludicrous scenes, quick wrap around. Ooh, can't make it back in. That is going to be the deny out then. No chance to re-peek into the zone. Points denied, 𝘿𝑒onG removed.
What is this leaderboards? What is this leaderboards, my man? What's going on here? So we got 4 from the top 5, 2 from the bottom 3, and only 1 in the mid pack. Does it need to be said here? Does it need to be said here, folks? This is insane.
Feeling pretty defined. Feels like it's all just inevitable with how it's been going. ETSH, realistically the only one towards the bottom side with anything to be earned from this. 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾 sending down to a duo. The last man of horaA in Sleepy, tucked in behind the tree. Hyunbin not far away either.
Yeah, honestly, he's doing enough, right? If you're horaA, you're just trying to put up, 4 or 5 points a game. That could be enough to just put yourselves into those finals. Considering that, yeah, I mean, all the mid-pack teams aren't going to have that 20-point pop-off game that they needed. There's only, I think, 1 that stands a chance. And it's going to be tough considering that almost all the lobby, the top of the lobby is still here. Look at this, Youngshin Red Force with 1. They're doing exactly what they need to. Now it's ETSH, the team that needs to get themselves out of the bottom. Now just getting destroyed on the side by 𝑒Arena, the Thai squad. Deleting them out of there. Nice push, though. They did get some good, solid eliminations, but they're going to still need to do a whole lot more if we want to see them in that survival stage.
Yeah, I had to squeeze extra from this one. That's why you were saying good isn't enough anymore. For them, it's not going to bail them out. Dopeness, though. The dope duo looking to clash versus 𝘿𝑒da. First one falls. 𝘿Arena even trying to siphon points off the back of that, and they do so successfully, taking down Dopeness. Hyunbin falls. 𝘿𝑒𝑖𝑠y loses his footing on the rocks.
MG3, so good, but you know what? Its weakness is when you're getting shot in the back. Unfortunate there for 𝘿𝑒𝑖𝑠y. Again, Team Vitality just flexing at this point. They still have 2 players up. Youngshin Red Force get that thirst. And, all the teams at top are doing exactly what they need to. Hey, just survive, put some decent points on the board, and it's a lock. Considering that there's only 5 teams remaining, all these teams are going to be getting some good, solid placement points. The real eyes on and storyline left is 𝘿𝑒𝑑a. Like, if you're 𝘿𝑒𝑑a right now, the best thing that could happen is you take out this entire lobby here and now.
Just have a monstrous game from it. Give it your absolute all. It's not going to get any easier, though. weird timeline where Sleepy could probably sneak into the zone unnoticed as well, because 𝘿𝙗 cleared this whole area, so they might not expect anyone to be there. They didn't find him tucked in behind the tree, so he's looking to just steal points if he can.
𝘿𝙗 practicing his TIG welding right there, making sure that he goes and he's walking that cup, fixing that vehicle, getting it loaded up for the rest of the match. I wonder if 𝘿𝙗 has that IQ to understand if they were doing enough elimination feed tracking to have a good idea of who's left in this lobby. It's quite difficult with everything that's going on, but if they have a good solid idea of who's left, then they need to realize that they got to amp this aggression up. Like, why not? If you're 𝘿𝙗, you need to wipe this entire lobby out if you have a chance at getting top 5, because if you don't, and we see 4th and 5th place get chicken dinners, like, top 5's gone. So let's see what they decide to do here. I understand why they're playing it very pensively. They want to make sure that they get to that end game, but you got to ramp up the aggression.
Sleepy spotted in the end. He's hoping he could worm his way back into the zone, but not this time. 𝘿𝙗 Red Force looking for a bit of an assess on the situation. Got a good lay of the land from the position they're in. Vitality close by towards 𝘿𝙗 as well. 𝘿𝙗 with a bit of a scouting play. tourniquet there in the back of the vehicle. Limited cover as well, Jukes, and 𝘿𝙗 such an open angle to just take pot shots.
Oh man, this circle not too kind, as there's a lot of open field in that center. Everyone's gonna have to play the edge. I would like to see 𝘿𝙗 go push up into these buildings though and challenge Team Vitality. They need to, honestly. They have to clear the south side out pretty quickly. And you can see them in the vehicles, in the buggies, just getting some more information for now. 𝘿𝙗 though is just moving up ever so closely. He can hear those steps. He knows they're in that building.
Audio cue giving the game away somewhat. 𝘿𝙗 with a nade as well, pinpooled on it. If he gets a chance to arc it in, find a knock, then they could collapse, but they are starting to fragment over as well. 𝘿𝙗 advanced towards the zone, looking to get set up near the cover they found. 2 players make it in. 𝘿𝙗 with a knock over to Hyunbin as well. Fires back up onto this ridge and does some damage onto 𝘿𝙗. Vitality re-aggress. 𝘿𝙗 holding. 𝘿𝙗 with the assist. The shotgun slays back over onto Federales. 𝘿𝙗 will pick off Axel, and Vitality crumble to 𝘿𝙗. They're starting to cook, Jukes.
This is a perfect scenario for them, right? They got 2 players already taking a position in this next zone. They were able to clear out Team Vitality, and now they're getting towards that end game. It's still going to be quite difficult considering that you got 𝘿𝙗 up on top with the circle priority, and most likely we're going to see 𝘿𝙗 fight 𝘿𝙗 Red Force. So if that does happen, never mind. 𝘿𝙗, they understand. They need to win this game, push up into 𝘿𝙗, challenge them, try to take them out as fast as possible, and then have to deal with 𝘿𝙗 Red Force later.
So many smokes being arced here, setting themselves up for it, trying to create some semblance of cover to protect them from 𝘿𝙗, block off the line of sight, and then take the fight over. Deep nade in as well. 𝘿𝙗 aren't sleeping either. They're thinking about just taking the hit to him. It could be a 3-way battle for the finish instantly. Dizzy so low.
Oh, 𝘿𝙗's got so much damage onto him. But now we're going to see 𝘿𝙗 throw some good nades onto 𝘿𝙗 Red Force. That's 2 knocks for them. This is the best case scenario. They need to wipe out this entire lobby if they want a chance. Here they go, and they are starting to do it little by little. But now 𝘿𝙗 have woken up. Now they're starting to put in some work.
So much damage, so little time to try and fix the issues you've suffered from that encounter, and 𝘿𝙗 know that the knee is weak. Seeing if they can make him buckle with 𝘿𝙗.
Another one.
Clearing through. Good shots on target, brings us down to just a duo on either side. Moorman with utility as well. He's only got that 1 Molotov left in the back pocket. 100 rounds of ammo on the AUG as he shoots up. 𝘿𝙗 sneaking in.
That one hurt. Unfortunately, that was his second to last nade. Ooh, that molly. Mighty close. And Moorman gets the knock. Single player up left. It's 𝘿𝙗 and Moorman versus the final player from 𝘿𝙗.
𝘿𝙗 Can he somehow find a way to follow through and win this 1v2? Peak up.
Oh,
it's good.
That's huge.
Sweats falls. They've got the revive off in the meantime. Mormon primes the nade. TinyK tucks in behind the wall. Nade misses. Darkin peaks. That's on target.
Headshot.
Good shot. Follow up there. HG takes him away as TinyK falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida getting it done in the 1v3!
Played it to perfection, Jukes.
Woo! Let's go!
They go for the res, he gets the engage off, wins the 1v1, isolates it with the nades, finishes him off, up close, sweating bullets with the shotgun, shuts it down and gets the dinner.
DBS behind the tree, using that shotgun whip technology, saying, you know what, I'm gonna shoot that shot before you could even see me, and goodbye. I mean, this was perfect case scenario. Literally, this is what they needed to do if they want a shot at the finals, and they did it the hardest way possible. That was not easy. Look at the shot. Bye-bye.
The quick taps on it. Fast fingers. And brilliant decision making with how he approached it in what was a chaotic moment. Milliseconds of decision making.
Sometimes you just gotta clutch it up. You know, you just gotta make a play if you want to keep your team in this tournament. And it's plays like that that are momentum shifters, right? It's one of those plays so big, so massive, that it gets your team so dang hyped that you just become an unstoppable force for it, right? So they got it in that game, and yeah, you can see that. You want to gain some faith in your squad? You want your team to believe in you? That is how you do it, and that is a kiss well deserved.
There was no buckshot in that shotgun, Jukes. It was all slugs. He just uppercutted the whole lobby.
Made a play. That was one of the plays of the tournament so far. I mean, 1v3 to win the game, and if this squad makes it into the finals, that was it right there, guys. That is the play that made that possible.
From feeling like it was becoming an impossibility to really just dialing in and immediately, like you say, locking in, knowing the game plan, understanding we have to fight. And they were so proactive that entire time.
Yep. And that's the thing, though, guys, right, is you're in a situation where your back's against the wall and you can just look at it and be like, hey, you know what, whatever happens, happens. We're just going to play it out as is. No, like, this is what I love about this year in particular. We're seeing teams, coaches understand just doing whatever happens isn't going to work. You got to do something different. You got to adapt.
You do indeed. And we got to get down to the stage with 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝘾 to hear from 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝙀.
That's right, thank you very much, boys. Here I'm with 𝑠power once again to talk about that first victory, as well as what was going on in Erangel, but I want to focus on Rondo to start things off. Obviously, you guys had great eliminations to start things off over in Neox, and then from the north side of that circle, you looked very controlled, and then when SUG wrapped around, you looked super controlled against them as well. What was the game like from your perspective?
Our perspective was very simple and clear. We'll just play our natural game. We'll play in slow. Basically, we'll play in slow motion. We'll just go with the flow, and we'll try to clear our back as much as we can. And we did it very well. We executed the things very properly. So that's why we could secure the champion, second dinner. Sorry.
Looked fantastic, really did. That's a great start for you guys. If you continue that on, you're basically going to be qualified for the final, so it's looking really good right now. Game 2, of course, wide wrap on towards 𝘿𝙗𝙗 or on that east side, but then getting stuck on 𝘿𝙗𝙗 can be a little bit difficult there, and it kind of felt like that was the case for you guys. What was it like here from the team as a whole?
We did choke there because we planned something, but we didn't execute that in a proper way. That's what costed us the game, but hopefully we are looking forward to the next matches, and hopefully we'll do better comparatively. Yep.
It's looking good for 𝘿𝙗𝙎𝙀. Thank you very much for joining me here, 𝑠power once again. That is 𝑠power here down on the stage, looking awesome here on Day 2 of Group B.
주나요?
이용해. 차벽 이용해 후보.
공 맞았다.
얘들아 왼쪽 보고 봐라.
형 앞에 나무 기절.
나무 중간 나무.
나무 라스.
해단대. 나이스.
Ben yine tepe çıkabilirim muhtemelen.
Oğlum sen Rita gel olmayacak dedin de şey gelmesin oğlum iyi.
Kim?
Gelmez
oğlum iyi ne işi var? Sen bakma önce bunlar.
Ya beni almanız lazım ya yalnız. Belki sen alırsın beni, tamam mı?
Alırım da. Şundan enforce'u çekiyorum. Yok kaçmışlar bunlar ya direkt.
Yemini falan yok mu ya?
6x.
Nice.
Orang.
Masih ada Ren?
Itu bisa tambah 60 gua. Enggak ada 60.
Enggak usah. Di berapa ya NS ya? Guys.
Bagian atas 15 NS. Orang mati 2. Orang mati berapa ya orang? Tadi gua bunuh 1. Mati gua. Oke. Di jamur ada yang mayat di jamur. Iya.
Mana NS? Sebelum teman weh cinta nisu. Mana? Song nisu. Bangku.เอารถมั่วไปรับให้
Tengahรับ
รถจะระเบิด
ตายมอง
รถจะระเบิดโอเค
ตายมองผมอยู่นะ
เตอร์รอมา
Loving the radio comms and the translation as well, but I'm also loving the PMWC Lucky Spin, which is available now in PUBG Mobile. Co-created with PDP creator Nana, the Electron Energy said, the Proton Power said, this stunning alien fusion grows out. Log into PUBG Mobile and take your spin before it's gone, like Max has done. I have tried it as well. I'm gonna try it again today because that grows out looks sick.
It is amazing, and it's also glowing. It doesn't look like it right now in the picture, but it does actually glow quite a bit. So it's got some animation. It's themed around PMWC. It's only W's for the skins right now.
And one team that was glowing in that last match was none other than 𝘿𝙄𝙎, because 𝘿𝙄𝙎, my goodness, this is a squad that also needs to make sure they stay within that range of getting to the top 5, and they were able to do just that, Neptura.
They were indeed really looking forward to what they have coming in off the back of that big win, because yeah, they did play that very well. I want to point out specifically their smokes coming on in there. We were talking about this again, you know, analysts, we chat in the backstage area, but it was really nice to see them use those smokes against EA when they made that push onto Nongshim. It was a really good performance there to just make sure. And yeah, you're seeing the day 1 versus day 2, night and day. I mean, I think we saw that in game, we could see it very clearly, but night and day on those stats as well, looking very good for them.
I mean, I love this because I love having a look at their average eliminations and being able to capitalize on that. And I want to give them a get them whatever food they want, buy them whatever skin they want in PUBG Mobile, because it's insanity that 𝘿𝙗𝙎 lost that with that much health and utility. Obviously, no popping on the zigzag, but was not prepared for that shotgun at the end. And you know what? Having teams that, you know, are creeping their way up from the bottom into these positions, they're locked in.
Yep.
And if you think you're at the top of the leaderboard and you're safe, it's not always the case.
It's definitely not always the case. Between Circle, for us, we're looking at the match ranking here. Teams 9 through 13 were eliminated, Max, which leaves a huge opening for those squads towards the bottom, and also for those teams towards the top to just kind of expand that lead.
I mean, yeah, because it's so close towards the teams in the middle, and especially the bottom of the pack, as you just said here, Seven. And because of that, I was expecting 𝘿𝙗𝙎 to just kind of level up their aggression, which they actually did at the very start. They did go for a crash on, I believe it was 7-1 GS team. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But not on Circle 1 to Circle 2. You know, it's a little bit too early to go for a full commit fight and get instantly eliminated, because you're not getting any eliminations, and especially not getting any placement points. So 𝘿𝙗𝙎, I like the change of mindset, but it's just not at the right time. They need to do the fights when it makes the most sense in these games.
Yeah, I mean, 7-2-1 sort of took them down, and that creates like that chain effect at the bottom 3, Max, you know?
Yes.
Giving a little bit of hope to none other than dopeness. They overtook them, put themselves in a good position, got on that north side, didn't scout Nongshim, and, you know, just leaving Kenji and Spigot to sponge some placement. But look, this is how crazy it gets at the lower of the leaderboard.
Let's look at the top damage dealers here. I was just speechless by what 𝘿𝙗𝙎 was able to do there at the end, that solo player. He was even celebrated with the kiss on the forehead, just saying, good job, please keep that up. We really need that, because if not, then we're not going to be able to make it to top 5 or even get close. But right now, that squad, with this kind of performances, at least they're putting themselves in that it doesn't really matter area because they might end up going to survival, which might leave them open to just do whatever the heck they want.
Well, that's exactly how you want to be playing, right? You want to make sure you are comfortable, ready to go, and ready to get into the next game without too much of an, oh my god, we gotta win this game if we want to succeed. But yeah, really, really good stuff coming in from there. Also, shout out to EA in that final play. I do want to say EA actually doing a really, really good job, and I think if it hadn't been for the Ida player, you know, flicking in to get that win, they were isolating Ida really well. They were moving around and trying to control as much of the zone as possible. So shout out to them. It's still a really good game from them. So again, going into the next Erangel, want to see more from them.
Yeah, Arena. Shout out to you, Arena. Right up until the end when you got absolutely smoked by one player with very low HP. One team that has been actually very consistent today, Max, for the first 2 games, which has been a big difference from what we saw yesterday in day 1 for Group B, is none other than Nongshim.
Yeah, I was hoping you would ask me about Nongshim Red Force. I love the way they play because they're not an aggressive team early game, mid game, right? They're just trying to get a focus on their position. And especially if you look at this circle finish, western side of 𝘿𝙗, very northern side. Where do Nongshim Red Force drop? Down in farm split. They go for wide rotation all around the eastern side of 𝘿𝙗 Mountain, get a great entry point, have a 4-man split, just scouting very passively, just getting some information, seeing where all the players are hiding in those bushes, and at the end, when the teams are at their weakest, they're involved in a fight, they have to rock up, they take the high ground position and get a ton of eliminations. Sure, it's not a win, but Nongshim Red Force, the macro decision making is just next level.
Honestly, come over here, Max. That was just... Oh, no!
Off camera! He gave me a
As
little
we're looking at the overall ranking for Team Vitality, I mean, they're going to stay up there too. Godlike still performing well. Just let's keep an eye on that gap between Godlike and Ida Esports because it is currently at 12 points. S2G has been able to perform well. They ended up on a 1v1 with 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I'm on the fence for S2G, honestly, here, Seven.
Same.
Why?
Because yes, they are performing better. Are they performing well? I don't really think so. At least not in that game. I think they were way too slow on that third party. I think they took forever. Once the third party was done, then they took forever to actually push Godlike as well, just giving them so much time to defend.
I mean, especially they only have 12 placement points over the course of what is now 8 games. That's a very low placement point, and the survival time must be abysmal. S2G, you need to get into those late games.
And for this team towards the bottom right now, Lace, I want you to get into your best coaching mentality. How are you gonna hype up these teams like Tiamba, ETSH Esports, and Hustler Crew?
I will personally head over to 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾. I will reach down and grab his left shoe and probably not do much with it because, you know, I might get a complaint. But look, these teams, especially 𝑎sh, coming out of that, they had a great position on the high north side. They had about 5 vehicle cover, 7 eliminations, moving on into that zone. And what did they do? EA Arena, they knew that they were there. It's not like they was just kind of did a nice flank onto them, but they're struggling with these positions into late game. If they were to have just defended EA Arena from behind, it would have been a different story for them. But the passiveness when it comes just specifically to late games from Team 𝑎sh is sad.
Yeah, it is sad for them. And for Hustler Crew, honestly, Kalaris, they might need a new pep talk, man.
Yeah, that's going to cost you the big bucks here for PMWC. But I think in Group B, the big bucks has done all the talking. You've got 4 of the 5 at the very top that I think have been the big fish, the big kahunas. They've made some amazing plays happen each and every time. They've looked very flashy, but one that's been ultra consistent without looking too flashy, I think, has been horaA Esports.
Just swimming along in that pond. They're a big fish at the moment. It is horaA. They're doing fantastically well. Again, so far they've had 2 bad games, like a 15th and a 16th.